It was Professor Milton Baines who instituted the rule. Any student arriving more than 15 seconds late to a lab practical would automatically receive a failing grade. He would soon learn just how strict his own rule was. The rule was simple. All students had to be present and ready to begin at the exact start time of each practical. Anyone tardy for any reason would fail. When student Beatrice Elmwood arrived 18 seconds late due to a flat tire, Professor Baines declared, "Your lack of punctuality is unacceptable. You have failed." And when poor Charlie Davies was delayed 21 seconds by a sudden migraine, he was met with the same cold words. "Your lack of punctuality is unacceptable. You have failed." Professor Baines' behavior was driven by the fundamental attribution error, where he blamed the students' perceived character flaws instead of considering external circumstances. My own final practical was worth 20% of my grade. I knew I needed a good performance, as I was one dropped beaker away from failing the entire module. My focus was on the water storage practical, which involved a complex experiment simulating emergency water filtration. Failure could be disastrous, leading to dehydration, as the experiment was designed to reflect. I decided I wouldn't let Professor Baines' arbitrary rule derail my future. So I arrived 1 hour early, set up my station, and recorded video and time-stamped photos of everything in anticipation of his arrival. 9:57 a.m. I checked the clock on the wall. 9:58 a.m. It was almost time. The other students began to file in, murmuring nervously. 9:59 a.m. I checked my phone. 10 a.m. Still no Professor Baines. A bead of sweat trickled down my forehead. 10:01 a.m. Where was he? The minutes ticked by, each one filled with mounting dread. The other students exchanged glances, equally bewildered. 10:04 a.m. The door finally creaked open. There he was, Professor Baines, looking flustered. "Apologies, everyone," he said, avoiding eye contact. "I had a bit of a plumbing issue at home, a burst pipe. Completely unexpected." I stepped forward, holding my phone aloft. "Professor Baines," I began calmly, "according to the syllabus, section 3.2, punctuality is paramount. The practical was scheduled to begin at 10 a.m. sharp. It is now 10:05 a.m. Others began recording with their phones. Just then, Dean Alina Henderson strode into the room, holding her own phone. "Professor Baines, I believe you are aware of the consequences of arriving late," she asked. She turned to us. "I've reviewed the footage. Professor Baines, you will receive a failing grade for this practical, as per your own department's policy." Professor Baines' fate was sealed by the very principle of reciprocity, where he reaped what he sowed.